The Nintendo 3DS. It's 10 years old. Isn't that just insane? I'm only 17 and that makes me feel old. Kinda missed the window and when it turned 10 years old, so I figured I'd do it now a little bit. I figured in this video I'd focus more on how it holds up in 2021, and I'm gonna do that through the lens of the product features trailer that Nintendo released for this console. Now let me start off by saying that the colors they chose for this console were pretty good. You have the standard midnight black, and then you have cyan and black. Now, I never really liked how the cyan and black looked. I always just thought the two colors were just way too jarring. I think it would have been better if they just released an all cyan color. This trailer goes over mainly just the basics of what the 3DS is. It focuses very heavily on the 3D effect, as you would expect. I kind of wish they didn't in retrospect, because this didn't turn out to be important to many people. Not a lot of people use the 3D effect. The 3D was just kind of a thing you turned on once when you first got the console, and then you never touched again. They mentioned the SD card slot, which seems very outdated by today's standards. I mean, look at that. 2 gigabytes on an SD card? That's hilarious. Apparently they felt the need to go over every single button on the device. You couldn't just figure that out on your own. They mentioned the newcomer, which is the circle pad. So this would be the first joystick on a Nintendo handheld. And yet people still complain they didn't have 2 joysticks instead of 1. And I totally understand that. They could have done some reformatting with how the 3DS looks. They could have easily put another joystick right there. Nintendo did give us an adapter, so good for them. The 3DS gyroscope was pretty much useless. The only thing it was ever used for was Pilot Wings. Another small thing that they mention is all of the lights that the 3DS has a lot of indicator lights, and they go over what each one means. They mention a light that is used for what they call Street Pass. This is basically a fancy way of saying that you can link up to other 3DSs. Pretty monumental. This is like messaging friends, sharing videos and pictures, and stuff like that. So pretty much just modern PictoChat. Now, the biggest feature, in my opinion, that they showed off, the system can also play DS games. So you can play thousands of DS games at launch. So I think that about wraps it up. So how does this reveal hold up? I would say it's okay. That's the only way I can describe it. Because it showed off what it needed to, but it really needed more. They didn't really tell us how powerful this console really was. They never tell us any specs. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little walk down memory lane, and I will see you in the next one.